I spend a lot of time looking at the sky, the night sky, the stars, and I've been asked, have there ever been any times where I've seen something that I can't explain? And the answer is yes, there's been a few times where I've seen things that I can't explain. And one of those actually happened this past weekend. And I'd like to just record it here. I can't really explain it. I'll record it here just to get it into the record, and and you can make of it what you will. I was out in the terrain that you see inside of this red box here in the Sirius Hills near San Luis Obispo. I'm not going to say exactly where within this box, but not far from where that arrow is pointing. You can see the latitude and longitude there. It's actually 35 degrees, 14 minutes north latitude, 120 degrees, 44 minutes west longitude, and this was on the 23rd of May at about 9:45 p.m. local time. And I was out with a very close friend of mine and his children, and we were specifically looking at the stars. And we had a great view to the south. This is the stars that we were seeing at 9:45 p.m. on May 23rd. You can see the beautiful constellations. We were way up in the mountains, and as we turned around to the north, I was showing the Big Dipper, the location of the Big Dipper, which you can see here in the top of your screen there in the constellation of the Great Bear, Ursa Major, and pointing towards the North Star, Polaris, in the Little Bear. And there are two stars, famous two stars in the handle of the Big Dipper, which are actually a binary. Today, we've been told that it's actually more than two stars. But anyway, these two stars are sometimes called Mizar and Alcor. You can see there's double stars there, and I was pointing this out to my friend's children using a laser pointer. I was pointing to these two stars and saying, you can see that they're a binary. And right as I did that, right as I turned off the laser pointer, there was this purple flash right after I turned off the laser pointer. It was almost like somebody flashing their high beams back at me. And there was no airplane or anything else in the vicinity. It just flashed right as I was. It was like an answering flash. I'll show what it looks like, what it looked like again. This doesn't really do it justice, but we were shining the laser pointer, and then right after that, like a flash, for a second, it was almost like an eye or eye shape, and it was purple in color. And both my friend and I both saw it, and we both said, "What was that?" Our laser pointer was green in color. This was purple, and there was no other people around. It was pitch black, and it was almost like something was answering us from out there in space. This wasn't an aircraft. There were no flashing lights. It was just immediately after my laser pointer, we both saw it. It wasn't something that I just imagined. We both said, "What was that?" It looked purple to me. He didn't see it as purple. He saw it as a star that like blinked on and blinked back off. I'll show one more time. This is just my attempt to recreate. This is exactly in the sky where it was. It was a very unexpected experience. We weren't out there trying to see flash bulbs, etc. We were actually just out there trying to look at the stars, and it really felt like someone was consciously or something was consciously answering back towards our laser pointer. There were no aircraft going through there. We did see satellites, but it was offset a little bit from where we were pointing to. It was right after the laser pointer. It was like something was answering back. That's what it really felt like. So an interesting experience. Really probably one of the more unexplainable things that I've seen. But this double star, the binary of Mizar and Alcor, actually there's some interesting myths associated with this visible binary. In ancient India, these stars were known as Vasishtha and Arundhati. Vasishtha was one of the 7 rishis. He's one of the Maha rishis, the great rishis, the 7 sages of ancient India mentioned in the Vedas, in the Sanskrit epics of Mahabharata and Ramayana. And Arundhati is his wife. Vasishtha and Arundhati are associated with these 2 stars, and it's a picture of marital bliss and fidelity. And there's a very important text associated with Vasishtha called the Yoga Vasishtha. And in that text, Vasishtha is helping Rama, and Vasishtha tells him about overcoming the impurities of the self. He's talking about the egoic mind. So it's an extremely significant text, the Yoga Vasishtha, and it talks about our journey. It's not just for Rama, obviously, it's for us. So I just wanted to share that. Really, I wanted to preserve it for my own record of exactly where I was and what part of the sky I was looking at and what the date was when that flash took place that my friend and I saw. And you can go out tonight and see the stars of Arundhati and Vasishtha if you want, if you're in the northern hemisphere, in the handle of the Big Dipper. And I certainly won't forget the story of Vasishtha and Arundhati and what I saw when I was trying to point out those stars and how that flash took place. I can't really explain it. I don't really know what it was, but it's a very important set of stars with very ancient connections, and I hope that you'll be intrigued as well and learn more about them and maybe check out the Yoga Vasishtha as well.